Welcome back to the channel. This is Matt Eagle from Eagle AI Agency. If you've been following along, started an agency about 2 months ago. I've been account executive for almost a decade now, and I've been helping small businesses scale to a seven-figure business. I've been successful helping multiple companies hit seven figures, and myself hitting territories well over seven figures, multiple seven figures. And what I found in this journey in the last year or so is stepping into AI and just kind of being an operator with an AI. And no, I'm not an engineer by no means. I'm not an engineer that understands code whatsoever, but I think most people miss the evolution of AI. So how AI used to work, it used to just be a chatbot, and now what it is a full agentic process. And so instead of just telling it to do a task, it now runs your task for you and fully outsources the automation to whatever AI tool that you're using, Claude, OpenAI, whatever you're using. And so for me, just from experience of 10 years in sales, I already knew I had skills, but now I can use these skills for multiple companies. So essentially in my business, I became an account executive for five, six, seven different companies. And how did I do that? What I was able to do was I was able to task out certain admin work that I would usually be tasked inside of a full-time role that would take me hours of time directly to an AI agent. And I think there's a misnomer of understanding how AI agents work. Claude Code deploys multiple agents at a time to run on the cloud or on a local computer. And so you're deploying multiple agents at the same time, and it's either ongoing in the cloud or it's on your local desktop. And so what you're able to do is build skills, but also build agentic workflows. So if you understand that posting content on social media takes a ton of time, updating your CRM taking a ton of time. And by the way, you probably don't do it. It's unorganized. Tracking conversations, who's interested, who's not interested. Research on being able to understand who's buying, high buyer intent, what company should you be reaching out to, even the conversation itself. Being able to have a very in context conversation that's sent in the first message in an email or LinkedIn. Meaning, hey, I looked at your profile, saw this, I saw it made sense for us to have a conversation. This is what I do, and then here's X. AI does all of that now. AI does every single bit of that. So it takes all of the processing power out. And now you can use what is actually the skill, which is for me, sales. AI has not fully replaced people. It actually fell flat last year on replacing people in a complete way. So an AI phone call, right? An AI cold caller, an AI DMer, an AI outreach, an AI system sequences, right? So you are still valuable with an AI because you have a knowledge of how it works. So for me particularly, I understand who to reach out to, how to reach out to, human behavior, the psychology of closing deals, how to follow up people, what are people looking for, what are expectations, what are onboarding looking like, how to do contracts, right? And everything in between. And all of those processes are automated. So I don't do the work of it, but I'm the brain of it. Okay. And so what I think most people don't realize is if you're not utilizing AI today, first you missed the boat on just the chat feature. And now you're going to miss the boat of the agentic workflow that is created. So meaning the software engineers that are connecting tools and creating these workflows are done for you. You speak in plain text. Hey, AI, I want this contract sent at this time from this prompt. Okay. So for instance, for me, if somebody signs up and they're a part of my company, I'm helping them get started. I say, hey, can you go ahead and create a contract for so and so, send it through X tool, and then let me know when it's finished. And when it's finished, go ahead and allow me to be a countersigner for it. So that whole process, I used to have to take the contract, switch the name, send it through the tool, and then every day I had to check those tools. Now I have dashboards of what's signed and what's not signed, or I get an update of what's signed and what's not signed immediately. And that takes, if you're sending contracts, like I used to send contracts all the time and onboarding and background checks and everything, that would take 5, 6, 7 hours of my week just sitting there trying to follow along or where these people are during the process. So now you can have AI follow that entire process. Building websites, right? So building websites have become the easiest thing to do today. And you can make it in a way that's super futuristic. If you click my link below, learn.eagleagency.ai, I built that in 10 minutes. I already knew what I wanted. I knew what color schemes, I knew the marketing material that I had, and I sent it and it built it in minutes. Okay. So now you can build an entire business, each section of the business, the marketing, right? Distributing content is the easiest thing to do today, right? As long as you know how to cut and edit. And if you don't, there's AI tools out there to cut and edit for you. And then to distribute, there's tools that distribute immediately to every single social media platform you could possibly think of. And so now you can just make a video, it's cut in seconds and it's delivered in seconds. So what used to take you probably 10 hours a week only takes you 10 minutes, probably more if the video is 10 minutes. This one's probably going to be 10 minutes. So if the video is 10 minutes, cut and editing probably take another 10 minutes. And then you can do that every day. And now you're the most consistent. You can build an algorithm, you can build a community. And now you can actually get enough content out there to actually build a platform. And that's the thing that most people are missing from agentic workflows is that it's going to be a place where you have to learn how to be an AI operator. If you're in a job right now and you don't know how to become an AI operator, or you're not an AI operator, then you're going to be replaced by somebody who is. So, for instance, my salary as a full-time account executive is very expensive for a company, but my retainer for one company, but I have 6 companies, is very cheap. And it's because I'm able to I can pretty much work 20 hours and get a 40-hour output for each of these companies, or a 10-hour work week into a 30-hour output. And so I'm working 3 times faster than most sales professionals. I'm twice as organized. The CRM's updated, all the data's tracked, everything's tracked. There's nothing missed on contract sent. And the follow-up is done for me. So I'm retaining more because I'm building more follow-up. So now what I'm able to do is I'm able to become a salesperson for 5, 6, 7 companies. Now, the deeper layers I have, which is marketing, landing pages, lead magnets, and all that stuff, is just knowledge that I have. So building lead magnets and updating CRMs and building sequences, all that stuff is added in. But again, that only takes me a few minutes to build for each person. So now everything's set up where the customer journey is built in a sequence. Humans are applied when they need to be applied because it's human psychology. Not everybody wants to talk to an AI agent. They want to talk to people. But during the process, there are pieces of that pie that can be fully augmented by AI. And if you're not learning how to do that, you're going to get replaced by somebody who can do that and can do it at a much lower cost at a much higher rate. So if you're not following along with Elon Musk, he pretty much says that production is going to be so productive and the cost is going to be so low, they're actually going to have to pay us. AI is going to have to pay us because a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. So don't be the person that sits there and says, oh, this is just going to blow over. It's just another thing, right? And I work in marketing for AEO. And the one thing that I learned about that is that AI is a part of every piece of decision making inside of a company today. If someone's building a project, if someone's doing hiring, if someone's doing anything, they typically ask a tool backed by AI to make the decision for them, whether it's cost, whether it's project, whether it's what company should I work with, all those different things. And so AI is a part of all decision making process in a business today, pretty much in larger companies. Why are you not making it a part of your decision making process? Why are you not implementing it into your process? Why are you not giving yourself the edge? Because if you do not do this now, you will be left behind in 2 years. There are 21-year-olds learning AI that are building multi-million-dollar companies in 2 or 3 years because they understand how effective it can be. And it's not just a hot topic. AI is not just a hot topic. It's a producer. And that's the one thing that you got to catch on to is that AI is actually producing at a higher rate than you can possibly think of. Fable came out and it was 98% more efficient than senior engineers because the idea is AI is more productive than you. AI is way better at writing than you. AI is already better at building systems than you. AI can connect to multiple tools and be 100x more efficient than you. It doesn't make as many errors as you. So the idea is that if you are still avoiding AI and you think it's just a hot topic and a new IT thing, then you're going to fall behind. Okay. And so for me, there's 2 parts of the business. There's one that's educating people on how to become an AI operator, and the other one is actually working with companies to scale their business. So being able to build out outreach, being able to build out marketing materials, being able to create onboarding processes that are really quick, being able to handle sales calls, like closing deals, delivery processes, and so many other things, marketing, podcasts, and so much more. And so if you fall in one of these buckets where you're like, hey, I'm a worker and I just want to learn how to be an AI operator, click the link below, learn.eagleagency.ai, because what you're going to be able to do is learn how to use Claude Code. If you learn how to use Claude Code, you'll learn how to use everything else. Everything else works exactly like Claude Code. Claude Code is ahead of everybody else. It's creating the trend. It's what created the trend in agentic workflows, to be honest with you. And I teach you exactly how to set up Claude Code, how to use Claude Code, and then I help you automate 5 of your work processes so you can become competent in Claude Code in the first 90 days. And then from that place, you'll never need me again. And you're the AI person of your friend group. You're the AI person in your company. And now you'll know how to be an AI operator and stay ahead of the curve. You'll also become 10 times more productive. You'll get more opportunity and you'll get paid a whole lot more money too as well if you're in a company. So I really wanted to jump on here just to talk about urgency and talk about maybe the mindset of AI because a lot of people are really missing the boat. I am seeing the biggest gap I've ever seen between competency and urgency, meaning there is such an urgency in the industry that says you need to do this. And there's just so many people not actually doing it. So the industry says you will lose your job if you don't learn how to do this. And all people are using is ChatGPT for their dinner recommendations. There's a whole lot more under the surface that you can't even possibly think of until you step in and learn how to be an AI operator. It writes emails, it drafts replies, it sends messages for you on LinkedIn. It will create content and post it for you on LinkedIn. It will create any type of website you could possibly think of. It will actually answer questions. You can have a full loop system in AI where if someone responds, it responds back. If they respond again, they book the meeting for you. So there's this whole brain of AI that you're just not seeing. And you do not need to be an engineer to be successful doing it. That's the biggest thing. If you have a creative imagination and you know how to think ahead and you know how to solve problems, that's all you need to do to become an AI operator. Those are the only three things you need. You need to be creative, you need to know how to solve problems, and need to know how the process works. And all you have to do is explain your pain point and issues and process to AI. That's it. In plain language. And then connect some of the tools and it does it for you in minutes. So that's what I wanted to jump on just to educate people on what it looks like for AI, how simple AI can really be, and the barrier of entry for AI is very, very, very low. You do not need any technical experience. You just need to know how to solve problems. So if you want to learn how to build Claude code and really the foundation of AI in general, like prompting, MCP connection, API connection, connecting tools, and automating processes, click the link below, learn.eagleagency.ai. We'll love to help you. And I was very straightforward, but I have been working one-on-one with clients for the last 2 months and talked to hundreds of people. And what I've seen is there's just a huge gap between what should we be doing because of the urgency of the market and what people are avoiding because they're scared or they have a misconception of what it takes to move on. So I'll see you in the next one.